Welcome class 9. Today's topic is greenhouse effect and global warming. First we'll learn what greenhouse effect means. You may have seen in nurseries the glass buildings are made so that the plants are kept safe inside. Not only made to protect the plants, but it also provides the plants with suitable environment. As you can see in the picture, that the sun rays enters inside the glass house, and those rays, after entering inside the glass house, tries to escape out. So these rays which are in red, these are the rays which are getting reflected from the inner surface of the glass house. So when they try to escape, they don't escape out of the glasses because these waves are not strong enough to penetrate the glass. But when it comes from the sun rays, it passes inside because they get that energy to pass through. I'll be explaining why they can pass through when they are entering from the sun rays directly, but when they get reflected they cannot pass through, and so they cannot penetrate the glass and they retain inside. So this heat energy which gets trapped inside helps the plants to have the sufficient amount of heat energy, and it maintains the temperature of the glass house so that the plants can grow and gets the suitable amount of heat to produce their own food, that is by photosynthesis. Okay, so the gases which are responsible over here to trap that amount of heat, okay, those gases are namely methane, written as CH4, carbon dioxide, CO2, water vapor, H2O, and chlorofluorocarbon, that is CFC. The chlorofluorocarbons are not seen in the greenhouse of this type, okay, but CFC is also one of the uh, greenhouse gases. So all these four important greenhouse gases are this: methane, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and chlorofluorocarbon. In the similar way, our planet Earth also has the natural way of greenhouse effect. So here you can see from the sun rays are incident on the Earth's surface. So when sun rays which comes from the sun comes towards the Earth, it contains a very high range of different ranges of energy. Okay, some are of short wavelength and some are of long wavelength. Those which are short wavelength have higher energy and they penetrate through the atmosphere and they reach the Earth's surface. And those which are of long wavelength, they don't have that much amount of energy and hence they get reflected by the atmosphere. Okay, reflected not only by the atmosphere, that means by clouds also, they get reflected back into the space, and certain amount of sunlight gets trapped inside the Earth's surface. Now those light energy which gets trapped inside, the heat energy which gets trapped inside, reaches the Earth's surface. After it reaches Earth's surface, the surface of the Earth also in turn reflects those heat energy, those wavelength in the form of long wavelength, and those energy are reflected back into the atmosphere. Now once they are reflected by the Earth's surface, they no longer are of that amount of energy. That means the energy level becomes low. That means they are long wavelength now, and they when they are reflected by the earth's surface, they bounce back to the atmosphere, and again the atmosphere returns them back because they don't have the energy to penetrate out of the atmosphere and go to the space. Okay, so first of all, some of the waves are reflected by the atmosphere directly. Some of them reach the earth's surface, and the earth's surface reflects them back, and after getting reflected, again the atmosphere reflects them back to the earth's surface, and hence, because of this atmosphere which contains those greenhouse gases, they maintain the uh, average temperature of the planet earth. So you can see some solar radiation is reflected by the earth and the atmosphere. Some of the infrared radiation passes through the atmosphere, some is absorbed and re-emitted in all directions by greenhouse gas molecules, and the effect of this is to warm the earth's surface and the lower atmosphere. This means that if the atmosphere would not be there, then the planet earth would be very very cold. Its average temperature would be minus 18 degrees Celsius. Okay, thanks to the atmosphere, that we get suitable environment where the heat gets trapped and the living beings can grow, the living beings can live. All right, so because of the atmosphere only, because of the greenhouse effect which retains the earth's atmosphere, which retains the temperature in such a way it becomes favorable for the living beings to live. Okay, and if this atmosphere was absent, then the earth would be a freezing planet. It would be minus 18 degrees Celsius with the average temperature. Now, since these waves, this heat energy gets trapped inside, okay, it just behaves like the greenhouse, uh, like the glass house in nurseries. So therefore they are called as greenhouse. This effect is known as the greenhouse effect. Now there is a small problem with this greenhouse effect. When it is naturally done, the earth has its atmosphere with all those greenhouse gases. Okay, the sun with its solar radiation, some gets reflected out and some gets inside the atmosphere and reaches the planet earth, and the earth's surface radiates that heat in the form of long wave, and again the long wave cannot pass through the atmosphere towards the space. This atmosphere reflects them back. So this is the overall natural greenhouse effect. But with the humans activities, okay, the greenhouse gases, those are carbon dioxide, methane, these gases has increased over the years. Okay, and because of the thickness of these greenhouse gases are being more more heat energy is getting trapped inside as the solar radiation gets through. Okay, more heat energy is trapped inside because none of the rays can escape into the space. So because of more uh, greenhouse gases, because of humans activities, okay, these greenhouse gases are increasing, and hence the warming of the planet, the average temperature of the planet also is increasing. And this results, because of this, the average temperature of earth, the planet earth, is increasing, and it becomes hotter and hotter every year. All right, this phenomenon of the increasing of temperature of the planet earth is known as global warming. So I hope you have understood what global warming is now. Okay, so global warming is the increase in average temperature of the earth's surface because of the increase in the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So let's talk about the effects of global warming. What are the effects? What happens with the increase in global warming? So I will take the help of a picture over here. You can see stronger hurricanes and cyclones can be seen because of as the effect of global warming. Desertification means the deserts will grow. Okay, less number of plants and trees will be seen. Decrease in snow cover and sea ice. You can see most of the glaciers are melting. So decrease in snow cover and sea ice. All these ice and glaciers will melt, and because of that there will be rise in the sea level. So you can see over here the the sea level is rising, and it reaches the human inhabitants. Okay, so because of this because of this global warming, these are the effects that you will see. And by reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, or by reducing the global warming effect, you will see that all these effects will be decreased. Okay, so over here you can see the hurricanes will not be that strong enough. Okay, more trees and plants will grow. Okay, ice and snow covers will remain as it is. The glaciers won't melt that easily, and because of that the sea level will remain as it is. It won't increase. So these are the effects of greenhouse uh, effects of global warming. Another picture is there. So each day new greenhouse gas emissions further accelerate these physical changes. Now every day we people are burning more fossil fuels. Okay, by using the cars or factories, we people are enhancing the rate of producing the greenhouse gases more. Okay, so there will be more greenhouse gases, and hence the global warming will also increase. And if less greenhouse gases, then it will lead to a cooler and safer earth. Okay, see over here, instead of so much of use of fossil fuels or petrol, or those kind of fuels, instead of that, if we can use the solar panels, if you can use the windmills, okay, then we can reduce the global uh, global warming effect, and the earth would be much safer. All right, so how can we reduce the global warming? Okay, first thing is that we can use the renewable sources of energy instead of fossil fuels. Okay, you can see over here fossil fuels means petrol, diesel, all those are fossil fuels which can be used, like coal. Fossil fuels, if you use them, then more carbon emission will be there, and those will lead to more production of carbon dioxide. And because of more carbon dioxide being produced, it will increase in the greenhouse gases, and hence global warming will be there. Okay, it will enhance global warming. So this kind of fossil fuels should not be used. Okay, instead we should go for some renewable sources of energy, like solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy. So these are most important renewable sources of energy that can be used. Okay, now the question lies, why renewable energy? Because electricity from fossil fuels puts carbon into our atmosphere. You can see, if we use coal, okay, in order to produce electricity, coal which is burned in order to produce electricity produces a high amount of carbon dioxide. Over here you can see 1500 pounds, okay, which will add up to the global warming. Okay, see, the earth's atmosphere looks so red hot. Okay, but if you use instead renewable energies, okay, like solar panels, windmills, okay, then the carbon emission will be limited, or we can say there will be less amount of carbon dioxide being produced, which will make our planet to be more cooler and safer. Okay, so there are few ways by which we can prevent the global warming from happening. Okay, so there are few ways by which we can uh, control the greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, we can reduce the emissions. Over here, see, the fossil fuels are being burned. So instead of using car for short distances, we can use bicycle, or we can just simply take a walk, and we can we can avoid, you know, the production of carbon dioxide. We can save the energy, because when you know, consume more energy, more amount of electricity needs to be reduced, and that means more fossil fuels will be burnt. Okay, so we'll try to reduce the consumption of energy. Next, we can also reduce the use of, you know, reduce the consumption of things. Okay, we can reuse the used products, and also we can recycle. These are the three important R's, we can say: reduce, reuse, and recycle. All right, then we can take less amount of carbon diet. Okay, also we can take action to save the planet earth by, you know, planting more trees. Okay, using less amount of wooden products. Also we can switch on to the renewable energies. In that way, you know, there are few more other ways by which we can prevent the uh, global warming effects. All right, next you can see over here what you can do to help stop global warming. Okay, this much for today's video. I hope you have liked the video, and please let me know if there is any problem or doubt on the content of this video. Okay, thank you.